Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listening to replay. This is the vault, episode 388, non-U.S. citizen, national BS. Definitely wanted to do this episode today because, coming up in life, some people think they got a bad hand dealt to them, They feel like they're victims. People feel like the United States owes them something. It comes down to one thing. It's called entitlement mentality. Somebody thinks they entitled to something for nothing. They think because they were born, their birth certificate makes them valuable. This is a harsh reality for people, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and set the record straight. We know it's a lot of people that listen to the vault. There's a lot of people that be on the internet and they're asking, well, I don't want to be a citizen of the United States. For what reason? You live in one of the greatest countries in the world, but you don't want to be a citizen. Oh, because the United States is exercising these powers over me, and I don't want to be a part of it. Why don't you leave? Because you don't have no goddamn money. That's why. Is it the only bad country in the world? No. Is it the only great country in the world? No. But are you going to leave, or are you going to sit here and stay and cry and complain about it? So we're going to talk about it on this episode. Because we know when we were coming up, it was a lot of old heads that try to deceive us and they're thinking that we need to go through some daggone process talking about, oh, you got to be a non-U.S. citizen. Oh, you got to declare yourself as a national. What the hell you think a national going to do? Who you think's protecting you from war every day? The military's doing that in the United States. Who you think's really protecting the people? The citizens. You think freedom's free? You think freedom's free? It ain't free. You think money is free? It ain't free. Ain't nothing free. Clean air ain't free. Clean water ain't free. So we gonna talk about it. Non-U.S. citizen national BS. It's a hard topic for people because it's like, damn, well, I know I'm not a crayon, trust Christian revolt. I know I'm not a color. I've been reading the Black's Law Dictionary. I know I'm not a dead person in the eyes of the law. I know I'm not a U.S. person. I'm a U.S. national. I'm a natural person, right? Right. That's the line they feeding y'all, right? That you're not a person in the eyes of the law. That you're a sentient being, bull crap, right? But then, how you living? Over air? You using those Federal Reserve notes? You cashing out into those Federal Reserve notes? Well, the United States is a corporation and it's bankrupt. So I don't want to be a citizen because it's bankrupt. Then when you ask the goofballs what bankruptcy is in, they don't know. Because they're goofballs. That's why. First of all, you can operate and still operate in a bankruptcy. There's levels to this. There's levels to the bankruptcy. Who created the bankruptcy laws? The United States. So clearly, they know which one to be in. There's not the same bankruptcy for everybody. But people think, oh man, if I just say that the United States is a corporation, that's going to justify my stupidity. If I say that the United States is bankrupt, that's going to justify my stupidity. You want to know what it comes down to? You're poor. Y'all want to hear that? You're poor. And until you get out of a poverty mentality, until you get out of the United States owes you something mentality, and you get into the mode of creating businesses, then you'll be successful. This is a buckshot for the dummies. Don't reach out to the vault with the non-U.S. citizen bullshit. That's what it is. I'm not a citizen of the United States, but you're utilizing their laws. You're not a citizen of the United States, so why don't you go to another country and become a citizen? Because you're poor. Because you don't have the money to buy another citizenship. You were birthed on the land. They have loose immigration laws that if you're birthed on the land right now, you get a citizenship for free. Well, it says the United States citizens, they all owe money to the United States. Right. And what are you going to do about that? You going to go out there and create something? Well, I'm the creditor to the United States. Okay. So this is what they say. This is what they say on a non-U.S. citizen national BS. I'm the creditor to the United States. You're the creditor to the United States, right? Right. Who's the debtor? United States, they owe me something. That's called entitlement mentality. You think the United States, which is supposed to be the people, which is supposed to be you owe yourself. You trying to say the people owe you or you owe you? Because you owe you. And that's the part they don't get with this non-U.S. citizen BS. Oh man, I don't want to be tied to a social security number. So give it up. Stop using it. But they don't want to stop using the social. You want to know why? Because it gives them benefits. They want those medical benefits. They want the poverty benefits. We already told y'all social security numbers are for poor people. But oh, that's a hard reality to hear. Why? Because you're using your social. You're using the social. Then you want to sit here and contact the vault and say, oh man, I got a trust. The United States created a trust for me. Really? Who's the grantor? You are. Who's the trustee? You are. That's called a living trust. That's public. Who's the beneficiary? You are. But they want to reach out to the vault and say, oh, I'm a non-U.S. citizen national. A national? The Native Americans are on reservations, ladies and gentlemen. If you got this far in the episode, the Native Americans are on reservations. They don't get to go into the public in the United States and do whatever they want. When they cross out of their jurisdiction, they come into the public jurisdiction. They were private when they were on the reservation. Right? So when you come into public, you got to deal with the public laws. That's what. But you think you're gonna have a field day being a national in the public, right? Oh, I'm gonna just step out in the public and I could do whatever I want. I'm gonna take money from the public, abscond from debts, and not have to worry about it. And that's why you know you're poor. They don't want to hear this. Private people, they get rid of those public obligations. They don't take on the public obligations. They don't go into the public. This is for the people that reach out to the vault with this garbage. We're going to do an episode so you can know the title and you can listen to it, and then you don't even waste your money because you're wasting their time and you're wasting your time thinking that you're going to get out of being in the public, but you're still using the social, getting benefits. That's how you know you're not private. Just because what did you do to become a national? What'd you do to become a national? Oh, did you give up the social? No. Well, I filed a non-UCC. What's the point of filing a non-UCC on the UCC? This is what these ignorant, dumb people over the internet have sold you. And they're telling you to go fill out a form that's called the UCC, but then check the box that says non-UCC. These people aren't millionaires. These people aren't close to being a billionaire because they're in the public. They're telling you, oh, you could use the treasury account. United States, they got some account for you. It's a treasury account. And this, that, and the third, you could discharge. You think if you were living that way, you're going to be on the internet telling the next man this? You think you're going to be on the internet telling, you think the government's going to allow you to tell the next man how to do this? But they're giving out student forgiveness loans in the public. When they going to give out mortgage forgiveness loans? Huh? Hey, you get a mortgage, you can't pay it off? Don't worry. We'll forgive you for it. It's the same thing with student loans. So what's the difference between your non-UCC or your non-US citizen national status? Oh, you're a citizen. You can go out and rack up a bunch of debt in the public, charge it to the treasury account. Because your family's poor. Because you don't got a private family bank. You don't understand private family banking. You don't understand banking laws. I'm going to file me. That's public. I'm going to go file for a religious tax exempt organization. Oh, really? You still file for it. How'd you pay for it? Federal Reserve notes. They playing with y'all emotions out here. They're catering to your emotions. These internet goofballs, they call themselves gurus. They got SPC Universe Shitty. They got HFRN Dumbass over here telling you what money did they put in your pocket? They're not putting money in your pocket. They're taking your money and they're tricking it off at the strip clubs. That's what they're doing. They're taking your money. They're not living debt free. They're taking your money and they're utilizing it. We don't even need to talk about the Ponzi schemes that the HFRNs and all these other goofballs did years ago. And that's why we separated from them. We know people that lost money from these projects. Why y'all think they don't do workshops? Because people looking for them. That's why. We do workshops. They're just private. They want you to come into their universe shitty so you can go what? So you can go get information that they sourced off the internet. The redemption manual. They got 5 different redemption manuals. What are you redeeming yourself from? Poverty? Because your family didn't go get money? Your family didn't pass along money to you? So now you sitting out here trying to get more free money? From who? The government? The government's supposed to be the people. Ain't that what they telling y'all? And didn't they tell y'all that the government was the people? Doesn't it say we the people? So who are you? You private or you public? Because if you're public, you're we the people. But when you're private, you're not a part of that. So now you think you're going to be private and go get money from the we the people for free? This is the stupidity they're pushing out here. Oh, you should be a national. For what? Because you're poor? Because you're not going to go create a company and take it public? Because you're not going to go out and sell a service? Not to go out and sell a product? Then you come on the line with Trust Christian in the Vault and you're sitting here talking about my trust, my money, my this, my that. You're not private. You're public. We've been talking about this for years now, and they still reach out to the vault because they don't want to go listen to the episodes because they're lazy and they're poor-minded. And they think somebody owes something. See, it's a spirit in poverty. Y'all don't know that. It's a spirit of poverty. You weren't born that way, but you took on the spirit. You want to know why? Because your parents maybe passed it along to you because they were working jobs and they didn't go out and build a business. That's why. Because they gave you a social security number by default, and you didn't want to change that. And they still got that yoke upon their back. Broke back mountain. And then you want to think, well, if I just take on the fact that I'm a citizen, if I take on the fact that I'm a national, then I'm going to get away, I'm going to get around it. Get around what? Having to be a productive citizen? You think another country wants you to come over there and say the same bullshit? That's why you didn't leave the United States comfort yet. Because you ain't got no goddamn money. You're not traveling to another jurisdiction and going to tell them, hey, y'all want to know what it looks like when you don't pay taxes? Go look at the British Virgin Islands. Are you going to live down there? Do they got the best hospitals? Do they got the best lifestyle? Taxes are high down there. You going to live in the British Virgin Islands? Those are tax havens, right? Are you going to live down there where they got dirt roads? No. But they nationals though, right? This is the poverty mentality that people are carrying around with them. And if they got it, you got to separate yourself. It's a harsh reality. Oh man, I don't want to be called a crayon. Look, ain't nobody disputing that you don't want to be called a crayon. I don't want to be called black. I don't want to be called 2 continents, African American. I don't want to be called those things. That's fine. That's fair. But see, this is where you're conflating public and private. Business and personal. In the public, the so-called United States corporation that you want to claim because you're using the statutory codes, it's a business. It's not private. It's not personal. It's business. So when you're in Rome, you got to do what Romans do. When you're in the public, you got to do the public business. And you got to take care of the business. And there's nothing wrong with that. But instead, if you come from a poverty mentality, you're going to think that there's some way to get around this bull crap. Oh, if I just become a national, I'm going to get it all. I'm going to be straight. I ain't got to worry about nothing no more. You still using the Federal Reserve notes? See, y'all ain't got a lot of trust Christian involved. We already know you're using Federal Reserve notes because that's the way it is. It's okay. That's not even a government institution. That's a private organization. But they want to sit here and say, oh, I'm a non-US citizen. But you think freedom is free. I remember when I was sitting there, and I used to sit around these white guys, man, at 18 years old, and they sit on the stage and they tell you, man, freedom ain't free. That's hard for y'all to hear. Oh man, freedom ain't free. What you mean freedom ain't free? I was born with rights. What are you talking about? Look what jurisdiction you live in. For all the women that think they so-called free. Did you go live in are you living in the Middle East? Are you going to live in the Middle East since you're so free, women? Are you going to live in the Middle East? No, you're not going to live in the Middle East. You want your rights, right? Well, guess what? It's not free. Because when you go to the Middle East, you're not still a free woman. You think you're free. And if you think you're free, go over there and find out. Give up your citizenship for the United States, non-U.S. citizen national, and go over to the Middle East. Women, you're not going to go over there. It's not free. Y'all think this is funny or something? Coming into contact in a vault with this garbage. And women in the United States walking around, oh, I'm a free woman. I'm an independent woman. Who you think gave you those rights? Who you think allowed you to have those freedoms? Are you going to communist China? No. Where you got limited on how many children you can have? Are you going to communist China? No. But they want to talk about freedom's free for a woman. Women's Appreciation Month. Are you going out to communist China? No. It's not free. So now you got to step up to the plate and take responsibility. Have an abundance mentality, but actually contribute to society. No one's saying that you can't give up the social. But then you got people contacting the vote and they taking benefits from the state, from the Fed. Taking benefits. You didn't give up the social yet. It's not hard. Contact them. Contact the Social Security Administration. Tell them you want to give up the social. You don't want Social Security benefits. You think you're going to make it. You think you don't need them. Right? But most people ain't giving up the benefits. Wonder why? Because they contact the vote, talking about they entitled to it. Because the United States bankrupt. What are you talking about? That's how you know you're poor. How the people gonna owe you something when you the people? And they still sitting on the internet for years now pushing this garbage. In 2022. Still pushing this garbage. Oh man, the United States is some type of wild entity, man. They are a bankrupt entity. And what are you? Did you put any money in deposit to make sure that they are solvent? No, but you're taking advantage of the land that they got control over right now because they a trustee over this land. Just like you want them to be a trustee over your trust, they the trustee over the land. We get a lot of the youth reach out to the vote, and this episode is catered to the youth because they actually got a fighting chance. We're not here to teach no goddamn old dog no new tricks. They want to sit around, listen to Taj. Oh, Brother Taj, don't call nobody's name out, Trust Christian Vault. Don't call names out. Does Taj get on airplanes? We already know he doesn't. We did a workshop with Taj. He doesn't get on planes. Oh man, you can get the passport without a social. Duh. We didn't say that you couldn't. But are you still trying to accept those benefits? What happens when you travel abroad? Who's going to save you in those foreign jurisdictions? Because you think freedom's free. It's a poverty mentality. It's a something for nothing mentality. And we're tired of hearing it. Don't reach out to the vote if you think it's something for nothing. If you think the United States owes you something. The United States doesn't owe you anything. You got to get off your rusty dusty and contribute to society. That's what. Appreciate Broward County for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate Broward County for tuning in live, listening to replay. We're not here to debate people. We're not here to change people's opinion. We're here to give people the buckshot warning. Because you're going down the road. Why do you think they're trying to put these crypto laws in place? So they can keep track of the transactions that's going through the banks. That's why. And it's just a matter of time for they can go back and claw back for all the years that you try to abscond from debts. See, this is a spiritual situation. You got to get your spirit right. That means your actions, your mental, and your physical, your spirit right. You want to call somebody else wrong, but what are you doing wrong? They want to blame somebody for their failures. Oh, the United States is the reason why I didn't create a business and go out and create something for the community. Right. Blame the United States for everything. When the United States is we the people. That's why. But you're going to be a national. Oh, I'm going to get a different passport. The passport got an RFID chip regardless of whether you got a goddamn national passport or not. It has an RFID chip because it was issued per the United States. What are you talking about? Want to know why you worried about these things? Because you're not making no damn money. You're not out here trying to build a business, a big business. So you really don't have to worry about driving cars. So you don't really have to worry about flying an airplane. You can get in private. But they don't want to do that. Because they don't understand business. They think everything's personal. That's why they got their own trust. That's why they think the money is theirs. Oh, well, the United States couldn't create money if I never was born. Oh, really? If you weren't born, they would have still created money, right? Right. They issued money into society so it could take care of you. And when you go out and earn it, you got to pay interest on it in the public. But when you're private, there's ways around that. Because now it's focused on business. But they don't get that though. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. This is the Vault episode 388, non-U.S. citizen national BS. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to hear this garbage. It's obnoxious. People got kids and they doing this stuff. What, you gonna teach your kids that? Teach your kids to be a national? What federal protections do you have? You don't want no protection? You think protection is free? You think you're just supposed to get protected by who? You know who created the UN? The Rockefellers. Who created the Federal Reserve? The Rockefellers. So what makes you think you're going to get some protections when you're traveling international? Because you're a national now. Who's going to protect you? Because you're not a citizen no more, right? All it is garbage. They sold you a slave mentality. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to reach out to the Vault Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. If you're truly looking to go through Trustee Training and not be sitting around talking about some, oh, I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a national, but you want to sit over here and say you got to trust and you got to lean on your trust. You got a trust that's set up with the UCC, but you got a non-U.S. filing with the UCC. How you going to use the United States public document, which is the UCC, and say you ain't a citizen? What type of time are y'all on out here? If you want to do business, do business. If you want to be poor, it's easy. Do nothing. But if you want to create something in your life, you're going to have to do business. People tell me, oh man, I got me a trust EIN number. And you ain't got a goddamn trust document. Oh man, I got a trust. Who created the trust? I did. Who's the trustee? I am. Whose trust is it? Yours. It's a living trust. It's a public trust. But the United States, I got them on there as the trustee too, because, you know, they the trustees of it too. They going to discharge the debts for the debtor, because I got a lien on it, and it's the debtor. The debtor is the United States, and the trust is the creditor. It's giving credit to the United States, because they bankrupt. Man, it's easy to put up. This is all we got to say. You going to get a lawyer to defend you in court? Because the lawyer's not going to go to jail for the crime you commit. Oh, you best believe it. But they're going to take your money. When you get in front of the lawyer, they're going to ask you, whose trust is it? If you get caught slipping, what you think they're gonna do? Just take your money. That's what they're gonna do. When you get in court, oh man, the trust is the trustee, the trust is the creditor, and I'm just the trustee. Well, who's the debtor? The United States. Who's the debtor? The debt. Oh, really? So, are you going in court? You know all the laws? This is how you know you don't know business. Every good business has multiple lawyers sitting in the damn courtroom with them. Every business has lawyers in the courtroom with them. If the trust is, but the trust isn't a business trust. Well, we know that. IRS says no such thing as a business trust. That's the first thing y'all getting fooled by. The IRS says it's no business trust. So is it a personal trust? Yeah, it's a personal trust because you created it. That's why. But y'all think y'all can get on a line and listen to trustee training and think you're going to get around it. It's trustee training for a reason. Because we know most people don't know trust. It's over 80 different types of trust. Y'all want to go there? Come on the line. We're gonna go over the 1041. We're gonna go over the trust tax form, and we're gonna ask you which box you checking. What box y'all checking? But they don't want to do that. They want to come on the line and tell you, oh, the United States owes me something. My children are the beneficiaries. Well, if the trust can pass along its tax liability to the beneficiaries, why would you put your children in a position where they're tax liable? Because you don't know trust. We were trained in this information, ladies and gentlemen. Trained. We have mentors. It's trustee training. We look forward to hearing from y'all in trustee training. Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian@trustchristian.com. Don't get fooled out here by these internet goofballs that don't do workshops. You never meet them face to face. They got some goddamn fake university up. They have some crappy university up with information, some damn redemption packets, and some information in a goddamn Dropbox. They want to tell y'all though that y'all gonna get some money from where? For free. But they taking y'all money for the membership. We don't got memberships over here. It's training, you're in it, you're out it, you move on with your life. It's a continuing education program. We look forward to hearing from you. Christian@trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.